between the Roma and the rest of the society. The memorial, the monument can be a signal in that direction, and I hope that with efforts like this we manage to achieve, to finalize. Now, about myself and presence here, I would like to thank, like everyone has thanked, and to tell to Timea that when I received the invitation about that, I said no, I will not go to that meeting. And I had good reasons to do, health, age, I'm busy, so that's... but then I grilled her for a while and her team, I'm coming, I'm not coming, let's see. And at a moment, I decided that to go. And it happened when I read in one of the many papers that I received, something which I heard this evening. She said in her speech, we believe that we are not superfluous, who have no and will never have any status in a given society, but we are an integral part of society. Timea, I felt many times in my life as being superfluous. I grew up with the idea that I'm something, as in the presentation made, I grew up in a modest Tsigan family. I learned from my infancy that I am Tsigan, and that like this I am some kind of, problematic children. Superfluous. And I lived until I'm coming from a modest family. My family is living as from the mother's side. They did this. I ate when I was young. I did these kind of things. Other part of the family, my grandfather has been a blacksmith. Others have been musicians, or most of them have been drivers. I am a genetical aberration somehow, because I didn't follow the path of my family, and I failed in my life as studying philosophy and sociology and then becoming what I am. So in this way, so I was like, because yes, I thought about myself as being superfluous. And I discovered later on in my life, and for a good part of my life, I was ashamed that I'm Tsigan. I didn't say to the people around you read in the documents there, I didn't grow with the idea that many others had, maybe you, Hans, or maybe you, Anders, that being wrong, it's something, you have a pride in that. So it took me years to discover this, and when I started to rediscover this identity and to talk about that with a lot of angriness about that, I became slowly, in about 30 years, active. And I promoted, I think, to make sure there's some change. First of all in myself, and then in the people around me, and then eventually at a larger scale. I met Romani Rose in September 1981. I visited Heidelberg, and that which was now the cultural center of documentation center of Sinti and Rose. So since 81, even before, but since 81, when I took contact with Roma activists some Roma activists in Europe, I got new energy, and as a result of that, my life changed. And the message that I would like to say to Erika's son, and to you, yes, we can do, small guys like us, small people, we can do change, and I win with that. I managed to bring together with Agnes, you remember the meeting in Copenhagen, Agnes, organized by, and here I pay a tribute, by Katrin Rensman, a German journalist, you remember her, who finished tragically in some circumstances, but she came from the Gesellschaft für bedrohte Völker, and she organized us, she invited us, Agnes, myself, Rutko, I think it was there, I don't know, in Copenhagen in 1990, and they came for 3 days. I stayed there 6 weeks, and I lobbied intensely with the participants to the Conference for Security and Cooperation in Europe, which is today OSCE, Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. After 6 weeks, I managed to promote together with diplomats and group a statement of 12 words, by which in Article 40 of the Copenhagen document, the participating states in the OSCE acknowledge the particular problems of Roma Sinti in bracket Gypsies, because very few people at that time knew about Roma and Sinti, so I had to use the word Gypsy against my will. Since then, in OSCE at least, Out of that, those 12 works, we adopted in 2003. I have been hired as an officer for a period of time, contracted officer with the OAC, the Contact Point for Romani Sinti Issues. And we drafted a document about 6,000